Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be continuing Mushoku Tensei Season 3, Episode 6. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, definitely do that. We do this every week, every Sunday when it comes out. Check out the Patreon for the full reactions and exclusive shows. That link will be down below, and let's go ahead and start. Okay. Okay. A little bit of more time passed for sure. It is kind of insane, like, we're seeing people come back, and I mean, that's kind of normal with this series. We definitely have seen returns of characters. We met so many people through the first two seasons, it would make sense. So it does make sense to see like new characters or old characters come through, especially old characters kind of just show up. I'm wondering how often is that going to happen through this season, since there's so many that could. I actually was wondering that too. Because if you remember, things didn't go very well their last meeting. When he was still dealing with stuff. To be fair, it was a pretty hard time in his life. Aww. Probably. I mean, we're seeing more and more improvement. Nice, okay. It's been a minute since we've been able to see and do some quests and... Oh, that should be interesting. Because we haven't seen her in a minute too. It didn't even show her in the school last time. I mean... Oh shit! Oh shit! Awkward! Sarah, 彼女のことを忘れることなどできないだろう。はすっぱで気が強くて I mean, he met her at like probably the worst possible time to meet somebody in his life, like one of them. Over that, of all things, so... I mean, she obviously took it as something else, you know, not being into, not being attracted, which wasn't really the case, so... You did a fireball, I'm gonna do a flamethrower, so... And that's not even her showing off. Well, I mean, it wasn't just her, but... Maybe she got, like, the name and the credit for it. Well, she has the title, too. Yeah. The worst thing you can do, not have the conversation, even though it might be awkward. If you have the conversation now, you might be able to, for one, make this way less uncomfortable the entire time, and also maybe make a friend, right? But the longer you push this off, I feel like it could turn out way worse. Things could be said to make things even way worse. Like, at least you have the opportunity to meet her again, which is kind of good, because I feel like that's, I mean, other than like maybe one or two things he probably would like to, I don't know, either never see again or maybe fix or deal with. This would be one of them for sure. I think this would be one of the times in his life that he regrets. And I think this is something that he could, you know, kind of fix, possibly. Free lessons. That's smart. Smart. She knows him so well now, by this point. Yeah. Give them the best opportunity by Rudy going with her, with Sarah. And actually Fitz being like kind of a mediator with this would be very, like, Selfie would make sense to be that person. And she's pushing him. That's something I really, really like about her. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. But Selfie has gotten so good at that. That's why her and Rudy work, you know, are such a good match. Making him deal with something maybe he wouldn't have.
何にせよ気楽だよ。惚れた晴れたで問題が起きたりしないしね。あんたこそどうなのさ。
どうって？
結婚して子供もできて、奥さん2人と毎日よろしくやってるってスザンヌから聞いたよ。
それはその。ごめん。
I mean, drastically different. I don't know what you could exactly say, but there is definitely some things you can help with that, because give her some closure a little bit would help.
謝るよ。俺たち気持ちのいい別れ方じゃなかったからさ。突然相手も何話していいか分かんなくて。でも
Like, think about it from her perspective.
ごめん。
だから謝ってほしいわけじゃないって言ってるじゃん。あの王女の護衛のあの子がそうだったんだ。
I mean, they're both kind of there.
聞かなかった？
シルフィエットって名前だけだよ。でもそっか、ローリでね。
ロキシー、青い髪の魔族の人もね。
え、あっちもなの？ロキシーって、前に言ってた魔術の師匠？ずっとあんたに謝らなきゃって思ってたんだ。
謝るってサラが俺に？
うん。
One thing you also have to remember, and I actually have to remind myself, there's sometimes we, see a character for an episode or two, but in the game, or I was going to call this a game for a second, in the show's time, like, they spent a lot of time together. I mean, the passing of time is different episode to episode, right? So we have to remember they spent a lot of time together in that party, even if it wasn't that many episodes in the actual show. So there was a lot of time invested. She remembers things. This was, their relationship, what they had meant a lot to her. And obviously, I think it meant a lot to him, too. It was just the worst timing in the world for Rudy.
あんたと別れた後さ、あんたがその病気だったって知ったんだ。もっと大人だったら気づけたのかな。あんたも死にたくなるぐらい傷ついてたこと。ごめん。
That's very mature.
今だからわかるんだけどさ。俺、多分あの頃、サラのことそんなに好きじゃなかった。
Okay.
何それ。
俺が病気になった原因。エリスって子なんだけど、その子に捨てられた。
You were getting over your ex.
そんな時にサラが好意を寄せてくれたから。
Don't want to call her a rebound, but
前のことは忘れてしまおうとか思ってたんだ。でもそれがうまくいかなくて、自分を守るためにひどいことを言った。
昔のあんたなら。
Honestly, this is pretty relatable.
こんな気安い口調で話したりはしてくれなかったよ。
確かに。当時の俺は相手に必要以上に近づかないようにしていた。また同じように傷つけられるのが怖かったから。嫌われたくなかったから。でも今は。
Yeah, I mean,
自信をもらったんだ。
奥さんに？
he got really fucked up by that for a long time.
そうとしてくれたのがシルフィーなんだ。彼女初めてだってのにさ、自分の体だけじゃなくて美白まで使ってくれて。そう思うよな。ロキシーも同じことをしてくれたんだ。大切な人を失って、何もかもが全部どうでもよくなってしまった時。
They really
助
did.
けてくれたんだ。
Both in different times. But they did similar things.
私はできなかったね。多分当時病気のことを知っててもさ。そこかな。私があんたに好きになってもらえなかったのは。
I honestly think it was just bad timing.
確かに。シルフィーもロキシーも俺を好きでいてくれる。
One thing I was thinking about was, like, I guess back then you can't really know how into, her, or like how actually into he was into her compared to, later on with, Sylphie and Roxy and all that. But him thinking now with hindsight, like maybe I wasn't really that into you, or at least not to the level that I'm into, your wives now. It's one of those things where it sometimes that stuff really takes time to actually process and know. And they actually have the advantage of seeing each other years later and being able to talk and figure this out and her to actually get closure, even if it's years and years later. A lot of people don't get that, so.
あのさ、勘違いしないでよね。私の恋はあの日に終わったの。そりゃ事情も知らずに
I
ひどいこと言っ
don't
ちゃったから謝
believe
り
that.
たいとは思ってたけど、それだけ。今さらよりを戻したいなんてこれっぽっちも思ってないの。だからあんたもあんまり申し訳なさそうな顔しないで。昔の仲間として普通に接してよね。
Though I'm glad she's able to at least get past this and
わかった。
like move on like this. That's very, I mean, like she definitely has matured. Like both of them have. Ooh. I wonder if this could be a spot where he could run into a a former flame.
またお会いできますか？はい。いつの日かまた。ロキシお姉様
Just because I'm looking at the area, like
いや、その
in the snow, in the winter
なんだったら私たちのパーティーに
areas.
入ってください。ありがたい申し出ですが、今の仕事は充実していますし、夫もいますし。大丈夫ですって。男なんてちょっとぐらい放置しといても、久しぶりに会ったらチヤホヤしてくれますから。
アリサ、その辺にしときな。
はい。
Also, just circumstance. It feels like he could run into Eris
お
here.
別れだね。
ああ、元気でな。
It's got to happen eventually. And this is the first time in a while that he's like we've seen him gone from everything and all that. I really thought that might have been the opportunity.
どういう意味？
あの子、ルディが昔好きだった子なんでしょ？
好きじゃなかったんだと思う。いろいろとウブだったから少し迷っただけだよ。
そっか。じゃあさ、ルディはどんな子が好きなの？私も興味あります。
I mean,
そうだな。
you
どうやら
two?
俺は俺の窮地を救ってくれる子を特別に思うらしい。
That is very
そ
specific.
れって
俺の窮地を
Though
助け
that
てく
might
れる
apply to another person
そ
too.
ういないよ。だからシルフィーが不安に思う必要はないよ。これ以上妻が増えることはないさ。約束する。
I don't know if that's the right
ね、
promise.
ルディ。
I gotta be real. I don't know if that's the best promise to make. Knowing how he is, and we know Eris is gonna come back into this equation in some degree. There's no way in hell she doesn't. The way this, I mean, the way this show works and the way we've seen the story work and we saw in the beginning of the season, she's gonna come back into play, and I think that's the worst promise to ever make. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, at the very least, like, she's gonna come back into your life, and the stuff that you were saying about somebody that would, you know, that saves you or the type of person you like, she fits that bill to a high degree. It's just, it might be awkward in the beginning, but I think there's gonna be, I mean, it's obvious there's gonna be a reunion. Did anybody else think it might have happened this episode? I felt like it was set up to just them being off on their own, and I don't know. I just thought maybe she would show up.
僕はルディが特別だって思える人で、その人もルディを特別だと思えるなら、2人とか3人いてもいいと思うんだ。
I actually believe that with her. Yeah, see? There, yup.
俺は彼女に捨てられた。けど、以前ルイジェルドは言った。きっとそれは勘違いだと。
And it was.
シルフィ
Think
ー
about how she was at communicating.
また約
If
束
you really think about it
かも
hard.
しれない。
でも何でもないのに妻になろうなんて子はさすがに許さないからね。
ああ、
これは約束して。隠れてこそこそ付き合って、いつの間にか子供もできてましたなんてなったら、いくら僕でも。
はい。
じゃあ、ルディが次にどんな子を連れてくるか楽しみにしておくね。
It might be, I mean,
すでに牽制の
here we go.
そろそろ儀礼の以来の剣王を決めようと思う。その前に質問だ。光の太刀は剣心流最高の技。 その極意を習得したのに優
So Eris is gonna get that title, huh?
剣聖、剣王、剣帝、剣心。その違いは何だと思う？お前何年修行してんだ？
He's definitely not getting
だ
this.
からわからねえか。まあいい。
Or maybe all three of them
強い
are?
やつは強いからな。よし、じゃあニナ答えてみろ。
欲望
Or
ですか？
maybe Eris and
お
Nina.
前最近なんか色気づいてきたな。じゃあお前の欲望ってのはどこまで耐えられる？
耐えるですか？
例えばだ。ジノと結婚するのと剣王になるのとどっちか選べと言われたらどっちを選ぶ？
覚悟よ。
覚悟？そいつは違うな。
違わないわ。覚悟よ。
じゃあ剣王にはなれなくてもいいな。
Well, she has a very
強くなりたいんじゃない？
one-tracked mind in the case of a certain person.
でも呼び名なんてどうだっていいでしょ。
よし、エリスにニナ。お前たちのうち勝った方を剣王とする。
あんたが初めて来た時のことを思い出すわね。そうね。今日は私が勝つから。ルーデウス。
Yup. It's what drives her. Rudy fills her tank.
いつまでお見合いしてんだ。
Ooh. God damn.
そこまで。
Should we be surprised? No, but man, did that get very one-sided.
お前はまだ伸びる。精進しろ。 見事だエリス。
All right, so she's getting it.
お前
Yep.
に剣王の
I mean, that was a
称号をさせよ。
guarantee. I just thought maybe there was a 0.1% chance that Nina might get it too. Since we saw like huge kind of time jumps in there, there's, you know, how strong everybody is compared. Maybe I thought maybe there was a possibility, but nope. Well, I thought that was a very good episode. It was a nice shakeup to the last like 2 or 3, which was very like wholesome and nice, not too much happening. This one had a lot happen. Returning of characters, closure that might felt like that might never have happened. And even I had the feeling that she was going to return very soon. I thought maybe they'd even run into each other this episode. It didn't happen, but it feels like now it's set up to. I mean, Eris has a new title. And I see this happening sooner than later, but we have, you know, an entire season, obviously, but I feel like, yeah, it's going to happen sooner than later. I thought this was a really good, we know this through the show. The story, like having full circle moments, having characters return and getting, I don't know, it's just very good at bringing things back. This show is very good at bringing things back. The world building is huge. The character, you know, the character development on characters that might have even only been on 1 or 2 episodes. We were getting them coming back so much this season, honestly. And I love that. That's something that I genuinely really like about this show. But you guys let me know what you thought of this episode. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, comment, all that stuff helps. Also, check out the Patreon for the full reactions, exclusive shows, all the stuff over there. It helps support all this. That link will be down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.